So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Like I said, the goal for this live is to explain and share some of the insight that we've learned and picked up along the way for those of you who want sponsorships and who are looking for, a way to connect to the team. So first things first, thank you for joining us. I would say, if I were to just encapsulate everything, sort of take the biggest part of, summarize the thing I put in the beginning, is three things. If you want to be part of a team, I got some notes here because there's a lot of information. The first thing you want to do if you want to be part of a team is to get noticed. Everyone wants to be noticed. We want to get noticed by you, and you probably want to get noticed by your clients, and you want to get noticed by brands. So that's something that, I want to make sure that we understand. For those of you who are taking notes, please make sure that that is one of the most important fundamental things. There's going to be three fundamental points that everyone should make note of. And number one, you want to get noticed. It is a very crowded space. There's a lot of competition for cosmetologists and barbers to be part of a team. Number one thing is you have to get noticed. In order to do that, you have to stand out. There's really is no other way. Being a nice person, unfortunately, isn't enough. I'm a nice person and we're a nice brand, but for all of you to carry our products in your barbershops or salons, it's not enough, right? Definitely there has to be some value. Our products have to work. We have to stand for something. And it's the same thing for an individual. As a cosmetologist or a barber, you have to stand for something. And when, a director of education or a CEO or a president of a company or someone running a barber team or a Cosmo team, when they look at your profile, do you stand out? And that could be in a lot of different ways. It can mean a lot of different things, So like I said, to recap, number one, you want to get noticed. Number two, you have to stand out. Number three, and these things are not original, by the way. Everything that you're going to hear today, you've probably already picked up along the way. You've either figured it out for yourself or you've kind of put the pieces together from some other brands. But what I will say is that, the third fundamental, you need to act and perform as if you were already sponsored. My great friend, one of my best friends, Antonio Vaz, say Barber on Instagram. He's our director of education. He and I have a lot of opportunities. I have the opportunity to share stages with him and share platforms with him when we go to barber schools and Cosmo schools, beauty schools. And one of the things that they ask us at the end, usually we have a little question and answer. People ask me, they raise their hand, elephant in the room. They've been waiting the whole class, 2 hours to get the information, and they say, hey, so how would I go about getting sponsored? What if I wanted to get sponsored? What could I do? And that's one of my favorite questions that I love when people ask it, because I've never heard this answer before. But my answer to any of you who have that same question, how could I get sponsored? Okay, I understand I need to stand out. I understand I want to get noticed. How can I get sponsored? What I would say is act as if you're already sponsored. We were at Lane's Blends. We were in Denver, Colorado a few months ago, and someone asked this question, and then, how do I get sponsored? And I said, okay, let's play a little game. I snap my fingers. Tomorrow, you're sponsored. You wake up, you're sponsored. Congratulations. At Maintain Grooming on your bio, right? What would you do differently? What would your life change? And he said, well, I would probably, create some videos. I would probably get a videographer. I would probably get a Maintain cape. I would probably, put my shirt on, and I would say to him, do that. You should do that, because when a brand goes to your page, they happen to land on your page of the thousands of followers that they have, and we're lucky to have every single one of those thousands of followers. But when we go to that page, we're probably going to look at the first 9 photos, and we're going to look at that. And if it looks generic and there's nothing that stands out, there's nothing that I'm going to notice, I'm going to keep moving on, and it's unfortunate, but life isn't fair, but these are realities that we have to face, and as a brand, we're under the same scrutiny. When you walk into a beauty supply store, a barber supply store, or you have a mobile supplier that drives up to your barbershop or salon, and they go, hey, what do you guys need? Who needs a shaving gel? Who needs a hairspray? And you're going to say, what do you have? And they're going to go, we have these brands, and these brands. You may like me or our barber team, but if it's not valuable and the price point isn't right, you may not bring it in. So there's lots of parallels there, and that's something that no brand is immune to. As professionals and as a brand, we really are aligned that we have to create value. So again, to take it back, those are the 3 fundamentals. You want to get noticed, you want to stand out, and you need to act and perform as if you were already sponsored. And that is the best advice I can give you. We're going to drill down right now on a few more points. But if you're just tuning in, just staying for these 3, we're going to go ahead and put this on our YouTube. So I think I've been going for a couple minutes already. In a nutshell, those are the 3 fundamentals that you need to focus on. All right? So let's dive a little bit deeper. So on social media, a lot of people want to be part of a brand. And the reason for that is because they want to feel like they're a part of something. So I would say, if you want to be part of a brand, you need to actively engage with that brand. So many people, I can't tell you how many people, they send us a message and they ask for a sponsorship. They said, I want to be part of your team. How can I be part of your team? By the way, there's another thing too. When you're reaching out to a company, please use proper English. Please use proper grammar. And you don't know who's going to open the message. Some companies might have a team of people. Some people might have an assistant. You never know. It might be the vice president of a company or the CEO of the company who's looking through DMs. And when you get your DM opened, you really want it to sound nice. Again, back to the stand out, separate yourself. If everyone is speaking improper, you want to speak really well. You want to be professional. So when you send that message, we're going to look and see, are you already engaging with the brand? What I love, and the people that have done really well for us, I'm already familiar with the person because they're always tagging us in posts. They're all I think they have push notifications for when we do post. So they're always commenting on our post. They're liking our stories. They are doing posts. They are engaging with us. They're really engaging with us. Also, another thing I would recommend, following the brand hashtags. Following the hashtags, I can't stress that enough. If you're using the brand, if you want to get noticed by a brand, it doesn't even have to be maintained. There's lots of other great brands out there, and I love all of them. I'm a big fan of a lot of other brands. So really, this isn't a way for us to get more people to like us. Really, it's just something we're doing to get value. But even if you want to get another brand, let's take it out of the industry, Nike. If you want to get sponsored by Nike, you probably should, follow the hashtag Nike. If you're a tennis player, you should follow the hashtag Nike Tennis. If you're a golfer, Nike Golf. These are very important things that you need to know. It's just the fundamentals, just absolutely the fundamentals of, if you want to get sponsored, you need to get noticed, you need to familiarize yourself with this brand, okay? It's extremely important. What we're doing right now, another thing to do to engage with brands is to attend their lives. Some of you are leaving comments. Thank you so much. Some of you have inquired about what time's the live starting. You guys are 2 minutes late. I appreciate that. We're holding each other accountable. These are important things. Attend the lives, engage, be a familiar face, and also at shows. Definitely you got to engage with the brand at shows. I have literally sponsored 2 people that had the courage to walk up to our booth, wait to speak with me, wonderful individuals, and they waited for me to speak, finish the conversation, came up to me, introduced themselves, like gentlemen, and asked for an opportunity. And you know what? I really appreciated that. How many times have you done that? How many times have you went up to, someone on the Barber team or the owner of a company just to say, hey, I appreciate your vibe. I see what you guys got going on. I think I want to be part of it. Starting the conversation. Some of the key members on our team right now, it started with the conversation, and they didn't get discouraged. It wasn't that we, started working together right away, or that we, signed a contract there in our booth. That didn't happen, but what was established sometimes in these early meetings is a strong foundation of friendship. Everyone on our team, and I know there's other great teams out there, everyone on our team, we're all friends. We're all brothers and sisters. We have some girls on the team too. Don't want to forget about them. Shout out to the girls. We're all family, and I think that's the most important thing for us. So if you're engaging with the brand, online, offline, you would understand that. You'll understand the culture, and you might feel this is the brand for me, or you know what, maybe I'm a little bit more of a freelancer. Maybe the vibe is a little bit different. Then we've also been blessed to work with some other really talented individuals, but they operated on an individual level. They wanted to be free. They wanted to work in a lot of different areas, not just the barber industry, the Cosmo industry. So as we engage with each other, maybe there's some missteps that, you would see before signing a contract, before applying, to know, why do I want to be part of this team? What is it about Maintain? What is it about Nike? What is it about XYZ brand that makes you feel like you want to be part of that team? Very, very important thing. So to summarize that is the actively engage with the brand. Another important thing, which is connected to that, is engage with the Barber team. I would say, a referral basis is very important for us. We really value our Barber team. When they come to us and say, I see talent, this person likes all my posts, this person comments, this person attends my class, this person is always on my live, this person does posts for Maintain, and they're buying the products, that kind of thing gets my attention. And it gets the attention of everyone on the Barber team, right? It's very important to connect, not only to understand, the vibe, but also understand, where do you fit in? Where would you fit in? When people apply with us, they want to be part of the team. And I send them a nice message, and maybe some of you are watching this right now. Sorry this video is coming out so late. A lot of you applied a long time ago. But, one thing that we value, it's very important in order to understand why. Who is on the team? Where do you think you fit in? Because what we look for is diversity. We could only get so many hotel rooms. We can only get so many flights. We can only have so many people in our booth. There is a finite number of people that can be on our stage, on the flights with us. That being said, it's important to ask yourself, look at yourself in the mirror, and we do the same thing. You look at ourselves in the mirror and say, what do I bring to the table that's different? How am I different from anyone they have on the team? Maybe, Maintain doesn't have a braider. I'm going to focus on braids. Maybe, my delivery is a little bit different. I'm bilingual, so I can get us, access into certain markets that Maintain may or may not be in. Maybe you have a different clientele that would help Maintain, expand. Because all in all, like I said, whether it's Maintain or Nike or Red Bull, someone at that company is going to look at your profile, they're going to meet you, and they're going to want to know, how does this person fit into our objectives? How do they fit into our growth plan, our strategy, and our positioning in our industry? And you have to know that. That's something that I don't think is enough, that is shared enough with with the barber or cosmetology industry. So please consider that thing, guys. Please consider the fact of, where would I fit in on their team? Who's on the team? Who are the players? Whose position do I have to take? We have a very competitive nature on our team. Even our team right now, where we have a certain number of flights and, like I said, a certain number of positions that we can have, and everyone is really fighting and competing, and it's a healthy competition. It's a family, but at the end of the day, as a brand, and even for those of you who own barbershops or own salons, someone who wants to work with you, there's only a certain number of chairs, so you need to absolutely fill them with the best and most qualified candidates. So, that is the actively engage with the team members aspect. Extremely important. I cannot overstate that enough. Engage with the company, engage with the team that you want to be a part of. So yeah, the questions of that, where do I fit in with this brand? Very important. And what value do I feel that I could bring? Like I said, maybe you do braids and maybe you do eyebrows and eyelashes. Now, that being said, understanding who you are is very important. Understand the company is very important. As an example, we don't have any braiding products. I know I use that as a good example, which is a good example. But if all you do is braids, it's going to be hard for me to sponsor you. It's going to be hard for certain companies to sponsor you if they don't make twist lock gel or whatever it is you need to braid hair. That's not what we do. So understanding your market is extremely important. You want to set yourself up for success. If you get the courage up to apply and you're going to engage in a conversation and you get lucky enough for a brand to respond to you, definitely you want to know your market and you don't want to waste anyone's time. All right. So the do's and don'ts of social media. Like I said, I got a lot of notes here, guys, so be patient with me. Understanding your identity is something that we speak a lot about. It's commented on in a lot of different classes that we do. Understand your identity and who you are. For those of you who follow me, and I'm not immune to this either, I put myself out there as well. I'm a family man, I'm a businessman, I'm a golfer, I'm a husband, I'm a dog dad. I have a vibe. I have a certain persona that is real to me. I live a blessed life and I try to share my blessings in all those different categories. That is me. For you, it's important for you to know what is your identity, right? Because you're not just a cosmetologist. You're not just a barber. We do this exercise in classes and I ask people, identify yourself, and they raise their hand and we go one by one. And someone will say, well, I'm a dad and I'm a barber and that's my identity. And I say, you know what? Why does it just have to be that? Why can't you be the best dad in the world? Why can't you be the best husband in the world? Why can't you be the best barber in Houston or Dallas or San Antonio, or I'm all in Texas, or anywhere else? Why stop there? So, challenge yourselves to come up with your identity, because that's the foundation. That is the foundation and the building block of what your social media and what your vibe is going to be like. Why I say this: any brand is going to want to understand. They're going to look at your 9/12 post. They're going to look at your grid and they're going to make a snap decision. What decision would you make looking at your social media? Right now, after this live, go to your social media. Go to your 9/12 posts on Instagram and look and say, what am I about? And who am I? What's my identity? Then, second step, what's my purpose? I've heard other people say this, and this is absolutely true. I don't think it's said enough. If your purpose is to get more clients, yes, haircuts are suitable, and that's fantastic. If you want to get sponsored by any company, a styling product company, or a clipper company, or a shear company, or a braiding company, do not just post haircuts. That is not sexy. That doesn't turn anyone on. Unless your clients, someone looking for the perfect fade, the perfect drop, the perfect mullet, yes, they will like that. And when they're in your town and they go on Yelp or Booksy, they're going to see you and they're going to want to, go to you. That's fantastic. But if you're wanting to get sponsored, you need to mix up your post. You need to show your personality. I need to see your identity, and other brand owners are going to want to see your identity. They're going to need to make a decision. Because what is it that you're asking for? What you're really asking for is a company to take a chance on you. What we're asking for as a product company, we're asking for you to take a chance on our products, and you're going to invest in them and hope that they work, hope that they perform, and hope that the clients you use our products on, that they're going to really like it. They're going to like our products. So, for you, understand your identity and your purpose, and your social media should translate into that. There should be a vibe. So please, all of you, and I apologize to those of you who have nothing but haircuts, because they're all phenomenal and they're very, very impressive, but you're not standing out. You do not stand out to us, unfortunately. People follow us and they have 7 posts, 12 posts, that's their whole Instagram, and it's nothing but haircuts. And I think, do I need to follow this person? If you landed on our page and all we had was product, you would say to yourself, do I need to follow Maintain? Not really. Their products are cool. They're all right. I like the zero gravity, but maybe you don't need to follow us. And I hope that's not the case. We really try to keep it fresh and mix it up a lot. But that is the case. Those are very true things. Please do not have only haircuts. Show your personality so we can see and feel your identity and your purpose. When you are doing posts, I'm going to segue into the next. This is one of the most important gems which I can drop on you guys. When you're posting videos and pictures, okay, very important. Don't show the finished product. Back to haircut. Here's why. Because that's not showcasing the product. Back to my Nike example. I keep bringing up Nike because it's a brand name and everyone knows it. If you wanted to get sponsored by Nike, you wouldn't take a picture of your abs and hashtag Nike. You probably wouldn't. And if you did want to get sponsored by Nike, you wouldn't post a picture of your abs, hashtag Nike, Reebok, Adidas, Puma, New Balance. You wouldn't do that because none of those brands would take you serious. They would think you're just appealing to everyone. You're just trying to get clicks. And that's cool. I appreciate when you guys use hashtag maintain grooming. It's fantastic. It's special, and I really appreciate that. But if you're trying to get sponsored, the finished product isn't enough. Other brands, and I'm speaking on behalf of other brands too. Like I said, I'm a fan of other brands. I use other brands, clippers and everything, It's very important to show, if you're going after one brand, you know who you are, you know who you identify with. Go after that one brand. When you do a post, don't put a bunch of hashtags. Don't hashtag every single brand in that category because it's a turnoff for that brand. At best, what you're going to get is a double tap. You probably won't get a comment. You probably won't get a follow if you're not already being followed, and you definitely will not get a repost. You probably will not. Other brands aren't going to want to promote other brands. So when you're doing a post, I see this all the time. Someone will do and let's just say it isn't just a finished product of a haircut. It's a styling video, and it's outstanding. And they're using our zero gravity and maybe some of our shaving gel, right? They're using our shaver. They're using a lot of different things. But then they'll use XYZ brand of pomade or a matte paste or a different finishing spray. And I think, damn, I almost was about to repost this. I can't repost it now. I don't want to give shine to my competition. I'll like it and throw a comment. So be conscientious of these things, guys. I know you want to engage with brands. I know you want to get noticed, and you're investing. You're hiring your own videographers. You're creating reels that take a lot of time. Trust me, I know, my team and I know, we do trainings on these reels all the time, and we see how much time it takes. And it's such a shame. It's a down the drain effort when you're doing a reel and you incorporate 5 different brands. Now, if you want to get noticed by Barbershop Connect, love those guys. Shout out to Lee. I love them all. But, again, if that's your identity and that's your purpose, fantastic. But if you're wanting to get sponsored by a clipper company or a styling company, do not use competing brands, because you're basically isolating yourself and you're not going to get noticed the way you want to get noticed from the brand. So extremely important. Don't tag competing brands. Like I said, don't even in the tag. There's lots of times, someone does a haircut and they put the tag maintain, but then there's a different beard oil company, there's a different skin company, there's all these different competing brands. And then I noticed that there's brands tagged that weren't even used in that. So it makes it hard for us to, engage with that, save it, repost it. We're not going to do that, and no other brands will do that. So if you're wondering, damn, I created this really fire post, I really put a lot of time and energy and effort into it. Why are the big brands not picking it up? Why is it not going viral? That could be one reason why. Pick a brand that you want to focus on for a few months, if not longer, and work with that brand. Work with that brand, like I said in the beginning, act as if you were already sponsored by that brand. If you were already sponsored by XYZ brand, you are not going to hashtag another company that competes with them. You're not going to hashtag a barber that's on another barber team. You won't do that, right? That's sort of like an unprepared, immature action to take, and that's what this thing is for. We're all learning together. Like I said, it's our obligation to put everyone on the right track. So those are very important things. Okay. Also something else to watch out for is in the background. If you're doing a video on your back bar, if there's competing brands in the background, that is going to isolate you. You definitely will not get a repost. And all in all, we want to get noticed. So those are the core fundamentals to take it from the top. You want to get noticed, you want to stand out, and you want to act as if you were already sponsored. So, beyond that, I want to take it offline, because it isn't only about social media, guys. It really isn't. We do posts sometimes when we're taking the booth down. And I don't know how this happens, but my barber team, some of you guys are on right now, I know you guys can attest to this and don't love it. We always happen to be the last people taking down our booth at shows. And it's funny, we look around and I remind the guys, no one sees this. No one sees that we're on a show floor in Vegas or in Reno or in Denver, that we're here and there's no one else here. It's us and union workers wrapping pallets, taking down ring lights, putting everything back in the boxes, doing all the accounting and reconciliation. There's a whole bunch of things. Then as we go to shows, because people want to go to the shows. Why I bring this up, it isn't about social media, it's social media and shows. That's what really people identify with as being a part of a team. Along with that is your willingness. I know he won't mind me sharing this story, but Saved Barber, our director of education, our second or third time meeting him, he came to the Long Beach ISSE show with his barber case in his hand. I didn't know he was coming. I don't think he knew he was coming to maintain, or maybe he did. But he went to a show on his own. He lives in Vegas. He came to Long Beach, and he came ready to cut. When he arrived, he came by our booth. We said hi. We had already developed a little friendship by then. It was fantastic. And my brother Daniel, who's our business development manager, Daniel asked him, hey, do you want to come up on stage? Do you want to cut with us? And he did. He showcased with us for 2 days. He didn't ask for any money. He wasn't a part of my original budget. And you have to ask yourself, would you do that? Would you go to a show looking for a specific brand and cut in their booth for free? Would you do that? I don't know if I would. I don't know if that's a little bit crazy to me. But I think that's what separates the people that get the leadership positions. And again, guys, there's only so many leadership positions available in the barber, cosmetology, men's grooming, personal care space. There's a finite number of leadership positions, and you need to stand out. There's a certain number of brands that are available to be sold in your barbershop, in your salon, or in your supply store, and we need to do our job of standing out. We all need to do better and look at ourselves in the mirror and go, who am I? What do I stand for? Can I stand out? Am I willing to do the difficult things? Am I willing to take apart a booth? Am I willing to build ring lights? Am I willing to build baker's racks? Am I willing to, be away from my family? Am I willing to lose a Saturday in the shop in order to fly somewhere, not get paid that day, but for the next day to go crush it, right? And another example I can give of what that sacrifice can mean to people. One of our other ambassadors, Zeke Peters, shout out to Sister Kid TV, he has, built his persona, used Maintain as a platform in order to open other sponsorship opportunities. And we're so happy for him. That really is the goal. My goal when building a team is to put people on, give them the opportunities to shine, give them the opportunities to branch out, take them in places that they wouldn't ordinarily be, and, really promote them. We don't look at it like we are not the star. I know, I'm on this video by myself right now, but what you don't see, I have a whole team of people behind me, whole team of people over here. I got a warehouse full of people over there getting orders out. It's not just me, and it's not just one person on a team. It really isn't. A lot of people have to sacrifice. So I'm sorry, I know I might be going a little bit long for some of you. I know it's the middle of the week for you guys, so I appreciate everyone taking their time out. But, fundamental questions, please ask yourselves these questions, because definitely the brands are asking this of themselves. And you want to know when you apply, you want to know what you're bringing to the table. You want to know what you're willing to sacrifice, what you're willing to do, what you're willing to go through. You understand the course of action. You understand the hierarchy of every team that you're applying for. You understand where you fit in, and you're comfortable being part of a team. Lots of different teams have different themes. And I support all of them, and I try to get along with all of them, and I think we all do a great job of that. Our theme, our Maintain team, for those of you who do want to get sponsored by Maintain, I would like to convey that, and I hope you get the sentiment, from us, that we are about family. We're about being servants, as Antonio says all the time. We're about serving and servicing an industry. We're about making our industry better, and the whole purpose of a barber team is to help us carry out that message, to help us get there and make our industry better than we left it before. So that is everything that we have. And so I'm going to open it up right now. I think I covered a lot of areas. Do we have any questions that you saw on our live? Because I know I'm horizontal right now. Thank you, everyone, for turning your phones for me.
Do you guys have a shop in Vegas?
Do we have a shop in Vegas? We do not have a shop in Vegas. We have a distributor in Vegas. Roy at the Sharp Shop can take care of everything you need. That is our supplier in Las Vegas.
Safe Barber's got great stuff, Rich.
Appreciate that. Oh, cool. Let's see this. I can answer some questions. Awesome. Fresh cuts by Sin. Thank you, guys. Fantastic. If anyone has any questions, now is the time. Hawaii about to be on the team. Atlanta in the house. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Awesome. If there's any more questions, I think we got everything covered. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you for your time. I know Wednesdays are a little bit of a challenge for those of you. I know we got a bunch of winners on the team once you guys are busy. So for those of you who are still on, you're carving out time for us. That's fantastic.
Someone said, when is your next show?
When is the next show? Thank you for asking. We are going to be at BarberCon Dallas at the end of this month. And then 2 weeks after that, we will be at the Salt Lake Beauty and Barber Expo. Shout out to Mike. We'll be over there.
So are you guys attending BTS again?
BTS? BTS? What's BTS? No. Those are our shows for the year. We have a class. We have a class on September 12th at Nancy's Beauty Warehouse in Huntington Park. That'll be our next class. Our director of education, Save Barber, is going to be there doing that class. So that's going to be exciting. And like I said, then it's going to be BarberCon Dallas and then the Salt Lake Beauty Barber Expo. Those are the next things. Oh, and then BarberCon LA after that. Yeah.
Said, what's the dates for Salt Lake?
Great question. I think it's October 9th. That's Saturday. Can you go to the calendar?
Yeah.
I think it's the second Sunday. What's the second Sunday in October? I think it's October 9th. October 8th or 9th.
October 9th is this Sunday.
October 9th. October 9th is the Salt Lake Beauty Barber Expo. And we are a sponsor. We'll be by the stage. Very excited. It's going to be our first time going to Utah.
Safe Barber said, should people who want to be sponsored be throwing their own classes?
Great question. Great question. Yeah, Antonio, that's a great point. That is a great point. You know, a lot of people, and I'm going to go back to what if you were already on the team? You know, I would answer it that way. If you were already on the team, what would you do to bring some value to your city? What would you do to bring value to the brand in your city, I should say? You know, having classes, having live classes, you know, featuring certain brands, you know, with the focus, inviting certain brands to participate in your class. You know, we do get invited to a lot of things. We are, you know, I have an obligation to make sure we stay profitable. If we, you know, the very fun fact, the very first year of our company, we started in 2016. We went to almost everything. We spent $110,000 our first year just going to shows, you know, and there were shows that we didn't go to and we sponsored. We weren't even there. So, yes, we do say no. We don't accept every invite. However, there are a lot of people that do classes that aren't even part of the team that we might, you know, engage with. If we're in that city, we might send a barber there. If we're, if we can't be there, we might send some products. You know, we might do something. If nothing else, we might tune in live. So yeah, having classes, I would put in the category as being active. You know, if you're active doing classes, every brand that you apply to is going to look at that and say, damn, this person is active. They're doing classes, they're doing lives, they're engaging in their community, they're attending seminars, they're doing continued education. These are things that brands look at, and you can really tell. You can really tell when someone attends education. You can tell the way they speak, you can tell the way they carry themselves, and the value that they bring just goes through the roof by attending education and having their own classes, because everything is a learning experience. What else? Yeah, and feel free to drop your city in the comments so we can go back. You know, we're going to be posting this on YouTube. You know, I think we had a couple hundred people on here today, which is really dynamic. We really want to get this thing on YouTube in order to share. So go ahead and drop your city. You know, if they're city maintain, you know, we're going to be coming out to a lot of different places very soon. We're trying to be strategic with our travel plans. Like I said, we want to bring the right mix of people, and we want to travel to cities to connect with individuals. To let you an inside track, for those of you who are still here, to let you know also some plans that we have. This is super behind the scenes, and I know only, you know, Antonio knows this. Right now, for those of you who are anywhere outside of Vegas, Reno, and Los Angeles, you know, we're looking for people. We're looking for like-minded cosmetologists and barbers who want to be part of a team. So if you're in any of these areas, especially if you're in Dallas, we're going to be in BarberCon Dallas. That would be a great opportunity to connect with you in a couple of weeks. You know, if you're in any of these cities, it's an opportunity because we, you know, are looking to establish a team on all areas of the country. And right now we don't have that. You know, we like to service the regions that we can do really well, which is why we're so much on the West Coast. But, you know, we do ship products everywhere on maintain.com. So you know, there are people using our products. So if you're a professional in any of those cities, you know, in Texas, East Coast, or in the South, or the Pacific Northwest, you know, stay connected with us. I think there's definitely an opportunity. There's not going to be much overlap in those regions. And I know all brands really try to have good coverage. So, yeah, thank you for that. That was a really good recommendation. Are there any more questions before we sign off?
No, someone said, thank you. I'm starting my cosmetology student, and I'm grateful for all this powerful insight.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, I want to wish a congratulations to all of you who are embarking or early in your career, because you guys really are shaping an industry. There's we get to do a lot of classes. What we love the most is speaking with young barbers and cosmetologists, because you don't know what you don't know yet, and like I said, it's our obligation to really help instill some of the values that other brands are going to look for. I think there's a lot of brands that are going to benefit from this. So you're welcome to all those people. But that's really what it's about: helping the industry, helping competition, and really making everyone and everything a lot better. So I think we hit our mark. We're good. Awesome. Guys and girls, thank you so much. It's been my pleasure. It's our honor to be able to offer you products and services. And I'll see you soon. You guys take care. Thank you so much.